to discuss the mock 8, right? How many of you have all taken the mock 8? No? Yes. Okay. What about you guys online? We have what, 8 people? All of you taken your mock 8? Yes. Okay. So which questions did you start with? Hmm? Okay. Okay. So you start with passages this time. You passages. Ah, not passages. What did you start with? Verbal ability. Okay. Fine. So it starts from here, right? Yes. Okay. Start. How many of you have done this question? You've done this question. So you guys left off verbal ability completely. You left this question. Why? Is there any reason? You've not gone to this. Okay, time set for that. You did not see. Why? It's for you also. Okay. You started with verbal ability. So for you, this question must have come first. What about you, Kana? You're taking a mock quiz? Kuch Yeah, you started with verbal. Obviously, everyone started with these questions or RCs? With these questions. Okay. What about you guys? Chakradhar? Guys, can you please switch on your cameras? Your stayed back home does not mean you just switch off your cameras and sit. Naveen, RC. Right, okay, good. Let me see your faces. The rest of you also please put on your cameras here. देखो स्कूल के टीचर की तरह मत भूलवाओ. Okay, all right, no problem. Yes, so can we start with this? We'll go from back. Most of them started with RCs this time. Okay, how are your scores with RCs? I think there were 2 long passages. Okay, a lot of, I think 6 main idea questions have come totally. Okay, so for me, main idea questions means my students should be able to do it. The main idea extensive గా చేసాం మనం. మీ పరిస్థితి ఏంటో నాకు అర్థం కాలేదు. What happened? But your main ideas are the point, the problem. Okay, so you're able to do what kind of questions, specific detail you're able to do. What about tone and writing style? They can't hear me if I do this. Sorry? Only main idea. So maybe you're not summarizing it accurately. Can I think of it that way? How are your para summaries this paper? Open your mouth, no? Open your mouth, please open your mouth. You must have analyzed your mock, right? Yes. See, there's no point in me hiding the answers and putting it up. You guys already know all the answers for these. आपने mock लिया है ना सब लोग ने? So you know these answers. Yes. Have you analyzed your answers? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For me also that happened when I took this mock. One parajumble especially was extremely doubtful for me. The one in which the answer was 4321. I don't remember what context of the parajumble. Put this one if I'm not wrong. The first parajumble, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Yeah, this one. No, my problem with this, very specifically speaking, was over here. when you're talking about pronouns, okay, and you're saying this, so that's a demonstrative pronoun altogether. So what if that this becomes the issue? Unless this becomes reflexive and we are talking about deepfakes as this. Are you getting it? So grammar is very important for you to understand this concept over there. Now, I would not rate this as a very simple parajumble to begin with. I mean, yeah, I don't know why we started with this. We were going from back, but okay, let's start from here only in that case. Okay. Now, if you look at this whole thing here, what was our approach of parajumbles? Let's go back to the class PPT only. Okay. Approach kya tha? We'd have to first understand the genre this is coming from. We'd have to find the connecting theme of this particular sentences. Now, can I understand that the theme of this particular sentences is nothing but deepfake technology and its use? Yes, that much I can understand. Okay. So now when he's saying in the fourth one, this is the other side, or you want to solve this, or you would not want to solve this? You solve it. All of you solve. Guys, online, have you all also solved this? Can you see this thing, or should I share the screen or something?
Yes, sir. Solved.
You have solved this, no? Okay. How many of you got this correct?
Sir, concatenates correct achegani fourth the point, sir.
So you put 3, 2, 1, and then 4. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I expected because that's what even I did. I understand that because that's what exactly even I did. Even I put 3, 2, 1, and 4 when I was doing this. So I did not take the complete mock. In this mock, I took the parajumbles completely, para summaries completely. Verbal ability section I've taken completely. I've left off one extremely long passage because I was sure that this answer was not very sure. I did not mark this answer. Okay. But without that one passage, I was sure that I've attempted, 14 to 16 questions correct. And that's good enough for me. 8 over here. I had to attempt 6 more questions in the RCs for me to get that 14 target. I did 3 passages. In 3 passages, there were 12 questions. Out of those 12 questions, I chose 9 questions or 10 questions. Because half in the good and the other question, I was again confused with why should this option be the only option? I was thinking that, okay, 2 options are right. So I thought maybe there's some kind of a trick. I didn't put that. So 9 questions I did there. 6 to 7 questions out of this 8 were okay. This question and one more question, one para summary was a little tedious one, but the rest of them were fine. So my analysis for this paper would be that if you're doing somewhere around 3 passages with 4 verbal ability questions, you'd come up the 85 ladder. For that 90 plus ladder, you'd have to go at least with 2 more questions either ways. Okay. The whole test was, I would say, medium difficulty. It was not high difficulty for sure. It was not definitely low difficulty. But in the medium difficulty also, it was only 70% questions that would, fit and come across easily. One good part was that there were 6 main idea questions in RC. Now, I don't know how many of you have actually converted all the 6 of them. If you go to the analysis section, you can see which type of question it is, right? Okay. Yeah, so over here, let's go through the same approach that we follow in our class, and let's see what we can do. Not only can deepfake technology realistically present people's image and voice, but it also allows for impersonation in real time. So in my mind, it is what it does and how well. Okay. Yes, and please remember, all of this is about deepfake technology. There's nothing that I'm going to talk about apart from that. So the subject matter of every question or everything that I'm noting down is deepfake. Second one, why trust in the reliability of video and images has already. Give me one moment. So while trust in the reliability of video and images has already been undermined, the potential of deepfake technology to continuously improve the convincingness of inauthentic recordings deepens the concern over deception. So now when we are seeing this part, we are seeing that the trust on video and images has already gone down. Undermined means gone down, right? Yes, but what are we looking at in the second part of this sentence? The potential deepfake technology to continuously improve the convincingness of inauthentic recordings. That means it's not that we don't trust actual videos and images, but it's that this deepfake is making us very convinced of the fake ones. Okay, so with this and one, we can connect it. Why? Because here we are talking about how deepfake convinces us, and here we are talking about how well it's happening. Are you understanding the concomitance part of it? Yes. Now, in this, why did I not go with searching for the first or the most general statement? Because this is not having any general statement. Are you getting the point? So what was our approach? Once we are done with this, we had to understand which is the most general statement, right? But when does this work? This works when you're getting passages of this format. Either the entire passage is broken down from here, or the entire passage is broken down from here. But this one does not look like any of it. It looks like it's been broken down from half to half. Got it? I think I mentioned about these kind of parajumbles also. They're rare, but they do come. Yes. Now, when this is happening, we can't find a general statement. Then how do we identify which is the first statement? We'd have to identify the statement which answers the most questions. That becomes a most general statement in that case. Okay. Now, let's look at the third one. Here, deepfakes cause a sense of uneasiness because they make us distrust what we see with our own eyes. Yes. Now, whatever we see with our own eyes was a conventional sense of it. We have to understand that the deepfake is a new sense of something, correct? Now, that is where we can connect this part, make us distrust to while the trust and reliability and video. So the concomitance was very clear for me for 3, 2, 1. But I was somehow not convinced that we should put 4 here. I mean, it was just not seeming very plausible. Okay. Now, the only other option is putting 4 here, which does not work. Because if you look at the if you look at the fourth sentence, it says this is the other side of the uneasy feeling that deepfakes arouse. Okay, if you look carefully, we are talking about the starting of an uneasy feeling. Okay, and here the deepfakes cause a sense of uneasiness. So that's the only concomitance possible when we are looking at fourth part. Let's look at this and see if this actually works. Okay, I've told you about this part of it, so far. So let's look at the other end and see if it actually works. Now, if I put 1 and then 4, in 1, we are talking about what it does or how it morphs images and videos and how realistically it does it. Yes. Now, in the last one, which concerns footage that is too realistic looking, might be what is confusing us. Are you getting my point? Why we might think it is 3, 2, 1 for Aditya? Is that where you also went with the option of 3, 2, 1, 4?
Yes, sir. Adi first statement lo ela undi kada sir, like
Right.
so I thought the concluding statement will be definitely 4.
Yeah, I got it. I completely understood what we did. But what we don't understand is there's no other statement that actually talks about what deepfakes do. If you're looking at 2, 3, and 1, we're talking about some aspect of deepfake, but not a definition of it. 4 is the only one which talks about what deepfake actually does. Right. So that is where we go with 4 being the first option and not the last one. See, by no accord was this a very, very, easy parajumble to do. By that same concept, it was not a very difficult one to do. It was just one that was confusing. Okay. Now, I'm not going to say even the best of us will get confused because I'm not the best of us. Okay. But yes, even if you're very good at paradigms, you might get confused with this. So don't beat yourself up. Try from now to always, exclude the two subsets of these options before you go for other options. One is 1, 2, 3, 4, and second one is 4, 3, 2, 1. First, make that connection. See if there's any connection to be made. If it is there, well and good. Otherwise, then move forward. Okay. So that's what we can learn from this particular model. Okay, how do we change our approach so that we can answer even the tougher question? Are we clear with this? Yes, we got it. Advainda, what about you guys? Online?
Yes.
Sharat, good. Okay, all right, yeah. So I think this is the question. Next one. Have you done this? How many of you have done this? Guys, how many of you have done this question? Can you just maybe say yes or raise your hand or whatever? Sharat, you have done this?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Please do it. Take 2 minutes, do it. Okay.
But then, I try to avoid the most convenient one. Then answer which I said that there is no way it's talking about our knowledge. That's where I was important.
Can you do one small thing? What is the approach for para summaries for us? कल revision हो रहा था. By mistake कल revision हो रहा था. अच्छा, why did you are all batch 6? 5, you? 5, you? 5. Okay, you are only batch 6. क्यों नहीं है कल? मास बम था तो? अच्छा. ऑफलाइन में मास बम चल रहा था क्या? I was teaching an empty class here.
Yesterday.
Yeah, but okay. Yeah, tell me here. So what's our approach for para summaries? Come on, anyone. Guys, anyone online also? What is it that we should be doing?
Accuracy, brevity, and
Very good. A, B, C. So brevity is our last priority forever. Okay. Accuracy first priority, second priority. Accuracy के लिए क्या करना है again? We have to scout through this, weed out the examples, only mention the ideas. Please mention the ideas from this passage. Okay, do that. Consciously highlight ideas. Come on, read.
Sir, can you pin this screen, sir? If
Yeah,
anyone
sure,
is talking,
definitely.
it's
I'll do that. Is it better now?
yes, sir. No, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Done. Okay. So what are the ideas that you're getting? Now could you isolate the ideas?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Sharat, you're saying something?
Sir, I'm having a doubt, sir. Actually,
Huh?
I feel like the sentence is incomplete somewhere over at the third sentence, sir. Fourth sentence, sir.
Which one, Anna? Third sentence means here.
Fourth,
Are you-
fourth, sir. Fourth, sir. Fourth line, sir.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This line.
Yes, sir. At the end, and this endowment, this impulse arising from the human being cannot be considered as a property of this world,
Okay.
because anything that is an integral part of this
No,
world
your voice
only.
is, your voice is breaking to me.
Hello, sir. Can you hear
Yeah,
me
yeah,
now,
I
sir?
can hear you. I can hear you. It's just breaking a little. Yeah, go a little slow.
Sir,
You're saying
actually,
about this line, no?
yes, sir. The human being
Okay.
cannot be considered as a property of this world, because anything
This
that
world,
is anything
integral
that is
part
an
of this
integral
visible
part of
world,
this world
only this world. Hmm?
only after only there is common, no, sir. I feel like
Okay.
something is incomplete here, sir.
No, no, no. Who is asking this question, by the way?
Me, sir. It's me, Chakra, sir.
Oh, Chakri, do you remember what we spoke about modifiers? Do you remember anything that we spoke about modifiers, Kanna?
No, sir. Actually, we don't have modifiers class until now, sir.
Hey guys, others, can you hear Chakri?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Modifiers class
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not over yet, sir.
Okay. No, no, no. I told about modifiers like a lot of different times, and not in a specific class. But okay, the concept is like this. Let's say that Revati, okay, who is an extremely diligent student, is absent. Now, if I were to say this sentence, would you be able to tell me what's the meaning of this sentence? What's the idea from this sentence? Revati is absent, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So why am I putting these two commas here? Because whatever is over here, no, in between this is an extra information that I'm providing, which is not aiding comprehension. Now that part is known as a modifier. Similarly, over here, this part is a modifier. I think you can read that part without it also.
Okay, sir.
This impulse arising from the human being cannot be considered as property of this world, because anything that's an integral part of this visible world only cannot raise this question.
What question,
Okay.
sir, actually?
అదేదో క్వశ్చన్ అడిగి ఉంటాడు కదా, అది నువ్వు నాకు చెప్పాలి. ఐడియా ఏంటో నేను అడుగుతున్నాను జనాన్ని. I'll discuss the question, wait. In that case, I'll discuss the para summary. Okay, all of you are done with this. Can I start discussing this then? Yes? Okay. We seem to have something within us which is not entirely a property of this world. If we were entirely of a longing of this world, sunk in this material world and exhausted completely in the phenomenon that are visible, it would be impossible for us to know that there is any kind of limitation at all. What does this mean? This means to say that if we are only concerned about the materialistic properties that we are looking at, okay, and if we are what do we mean about if we were entirely of a longing of this world? What does that sentence mean? Because you had a doubt in that, no? No. If we are entirely thinking of the boundary as of this world as material. Okay, longing for something means wanting something, right? So here, if we were entirely of a longing of this world, that means if we were the only want, if we were the only wish of this world, okay, then we are sunk in this material world and are completely exhausted from the phenomena that are visible only. That means we are only living in the need or the want of a material living. Too deeper. Okay. Okay, no problem. Did you guys understand? Or online, you guys also did not understand?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. They also did not understand. No worry. We have something within us which is not entirely a property of this world. Ikkadaka ante enti. Okay, we have some quality which the world does not normally possess. Yes, till that part it's okay. If we were entirely of a longing of this world, that means if we were the wish or want of this world, that means if we were the product of this world, okay, sunk in this material world and exhausted completely in the phenomena that are visible. You are completely involved in what you can see. Okay, the materialistic part. For example, maybe I don't want to say it this way. Maybe my dead grandmom is sitting there, but no, I can only see a chair. Okay, that means if we are that product of a world which is only based on materialistic living, on living that we can see, nothing else, okay, it would be impossible for us to know that there's any kind of limitation at all. That means we would think of ourselves or we would think of the world as limitless. Okay, that means there's one new thing every day. There's no end to what we can see and what we can feel. To pura dunya ghoom le, there'll be one city that you have not seen. Now are you getting what I'm trying to say? No? Still hard? What about you guys?
Yes, I got.
Okay, thank God. What about you people? Did you understand what I'm trying to say? No? चलो मान लो कि आप पूरा वाइजैक घूम लिए, ओके, मैं कल एक और नया जगह बता दूंगा, आपके लिए वो नया हो गया ना? कोई सीमा है इस उत्सुकता की, कोई सीमा है ये जानकारी जानने की? नहीं, हर एक जगह हर एक चीज नया हो जाएगा। क्यों? क्योंकि यू आर ओनली थिंकिंग अबाउट व्हाट इज विजिबल, ओके, यू आर ओनली सीइंग एवरीथिंग एज अ मटेरियल. So a new train is a new train for you. It's very new. It's not like it's a train only. So for you, each material is a new thing. So there's no limitation at all. आपके लिए हर रोज एक नया चीज आ सकता है. Now are you getting it? Okay. Are you sure you got it? Okay. We would never be unhappy for any reason. ये तो simple सा idea है ना? Yes. Unhappiness of every kind, sorrow of any character is an indication that there's something in the individual which is not satisfied with anything in this world. Why does unhappiness arise? Because you are not satisfied. What are you not satisfied with? With some part of the world. Which part we'll see further. And this endowment, this impulse arising from the human being cannot be considered as a property of this world, because anything that's an integral part of this visible world, this world which is limited so much, cannot raise this question. Now, what does he say from here? I couldn't start this one. And this endowment, this impulse, no. So what is this impulse that's arising from the human being to see new things, to find the limits, to go beyond and understand? Okay, that kind of a, what do you say? That kind of a curiosity, that kind of jigyasa, it cannot be satisfied. Okay, with anything in this world. Especially why? Because in this entire world, in this integral means one, unified. Okay, in this unified world, which is only visible to you, or which is the only visible part of this integral world, it is such a limited space. We feel it's limitless. For us, those entities are, innumerable. But this actually is such a limited space that you cannot even arise the question of seeing something new again and again. Okay, so he's basically trying to tell us that there is some to perceive. We think it's limitless. We think there's something new again and again every time. But there is some kind of a limit to this visible world. Not able to cross that limit is what is making us unhappy. I'll give you an example here. आज मैं तुमको iPad खरीद के दे दिया, कल MacBook चाहिए होगा, right? So in this limited world, if we are desiring, or if we are longing for, if we are needing something materialistic new every day, we are not able to realize our limits, which is causing us unhappiness. Did you understand it a little now? Yes? Okay. Guys, what about you online? Did you guys understand it?
Yes.
Yeah, this is again metaphysical in nature. The philosophy concept again, para summaries mein ye philosophy ka hai. So you'll have to not look at it in terms of what can be seen and what cannot be seen, but in terms of ideas. You have to go to that hawk level, eagle eye view. ऊपर से देखो आप कि ठीक है यार, आपके पास ये है, आप बोल रहे हो कि ये लिमिट है अपना, क्यों बोल रहे हो कि वर्ल्ड इज लिमिटेड? Why are you telling me that the world is limited so much when you're telling me that there's everything in the world and there's no limitation at all? Because we cannot get everything in you. Okay, that happiness of every kind, sorrow of any character is an indication that there's something in the human individual which is not satisfied. He's not telling the world is not providing shit to you. You're not satisfied with the shit that the world is giving. Getting my point now? But Chakri, you understood, Nana? Chakradhar?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah? Okay, cool, cool. Right, so what will be the answer? The pleasures of the material world lack the quality of divinity. See, he's never spoken about divinity or spirituality of any kind. The limits that he spoke of are the materialistic limits. So I can say that this is an out of scope choice for sure. Yes? Dissatisfaction is the cause for unhappiness for all the humans, all the human beings. Now, see again, it's not the dissatisfaction with the material world specifically. It is that we need more. We are trying to get more, but that is not happening. Okay, so what is this? This is inconsistent. Okay, now unhappiness not due to intelligence, but despite it.
Sir, your voice is not audible.
Despite my voice is not
Yeah.
audible.
Yes, sir, it came back.
I
It's
am
audible
connected to
now.
Act, right? I'm audible now. Just give me one moment. Let me check which connection I have on Act only. Guys, I have the connection which is in this room. Is my internet, can you guys see if my internet is on green? Next to my name, next to Apex, is the internet on green? Is it audible now?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
audible, the network is also good, sir. It is in green, but it turns red, at least for my system, when it is low. So it's showing that you have good network connection.
Okay, okay. Maybe sometimes it's happening that way. Probably due to
Yes.
the weather, because the net is very, very close to my system. The system is working well. Okay, just let me know which point you want me to repeat. We'll repeat that again. Okay. Right. Anyways, so here what does he say? It's not due to intelligence, but despite it. That means we are getting.
Sir, it got disconnected again.
Understand why it is important for you to keep reading philosophy, because it's sometimes the abstract ideas.
So can you
are
repeat?
not about divinity and all. I told this to you. It's not even about extraterrestrial life and all. Sometimes the idea is very simple, but it's convoluted. When I'm talking about convoluted, there are layers to that idea. And unless you feel it, you won't be able to actually understand what the idea is. I still remember there was this one para summary that me and Roshan were doing. वैसे बैठ के करते रहते हैं. So he like, see, anyone who wants to sit can sit. I have time, I give time. But yeah. The idea, the entire para summary was an example. In that idea, just 1 minute. I think there is some problem. I'll just come back. Zoom कैसे automatically करता है? Give me 1 moment. I'll try to shift my net to another Wi-Fi. Maybe then the thing would be better. Capital A. @ है क्या? Right, is it better now? Can you hear me clearer now?
Yes.
Yes, okay, cool. Okay, guys. So we are all done with this part, right? So next question ko chalte hain. Is this a question? Yes. Again, another para summary. Come on, please start. How many of you have done this, by the way? Tumne kara? Tumne kara? No, you have not done this. You? No. You have done it, no? Yeah, you exam. You finished the exam. No. So Revati, did you get this correct? You didn't do this? You, Nana? No? Okay, please start. What about online, guys? How many of you got this correct? Wait, let me pin this. I think the pin has gone also, right? Yeah. Yes, how many of you got this correct? Yeah. You got correct, Janvi. Okay, what about the rest? Okay. Sharad got it wrong. Okay. All right. Fine. Naveen did not attempt it. Okay. Okay. Someone got correct. All right, yeah. Check. Do it. Are we done? Yes. Okay. Yes, guys. So what is the passage talking about? The righteous character which characterizes human society, if it is not, if it is to be a solid and enduring one, is certainly a super social feature. Okay. What are super social features? Do we need to know? Ideally, no. Okay. Every time you hear sub or super, think above or below. Okay, so you have certain social features. Above those social features is righteousness. That's the idea that you should be deriving out of it. Now, what's he saying? He's saying that righteousness characterizes human society as a whole. Now, if it is to be a solid and enduring one, that means if that needs to be good, then it is certainly a super social feature. Then if that righteousness is great, then that's a super social feature. It's not a social feature, but it's above society features. The stability of a society does not rest with the society itself. Okay. It is in a principle which is super social, just as the health of a body. So now from this part, very good. But you should not call it example, analogy. Okay, A like B. So this is an analogy. Like this does not depend on that, this does not depend on that. That's what they're trying to say. Right? So for us, the whole part kind of ends over here. That's the only part that we need to know about. And what's that part talking about? The righteousness. Yes, what is righteousness? Yeah, that's the one question. If you answer, you'll get the answer. Abba, Inka? To know what's right and wrong. Ethics, morals, these are very, very broad terms that we randomly throw. Okay? Righteousness, conscience, ethics, morals. You'll see all these words in this paragraph also. I'm talking about only words in this paragraph, by the way. I'm not going beyond these also. Morals, matlab kya hai? Ethics, matlab kya hai? Boliye. Tell me. Okay. Moral is what is right. Okay. Moral is what is right. Morality is the practice of the right thing. Okay. Now, ethics are not going back on that right thing, even when you are, being pushed back. That means always doing the right thing, or always doing the thing that's the most right for a situation is the ethical approach. Okay. For example, morality might tell you that because a man is dying, okay, he should not be put to certain tests. But ethics might tell you that it is always important for you to put that person also to that test. I'll give you a small example. Do you guys know about clinical trials? Yes? No? Revati? No. Let's say that a new medicine has come into town. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you that this medicine will cure cancer like no other medicine before. How did I determine that? Analysis. What kind of analysis? Right? Right? So maybe you four are my subjects and I'm the researcher. All of you have some, curable disease, but it's painful. Okay? I've gotten a new candy, and I'm telling you that this candy, you take one pill, this disease will go away. Okay, yeah, right. So now what's happening over there? Amongst all the four of you have disease. For these two people, no, I'll give sugar pills. For you both, no, I'll give the actual tablet. Then I'll see, are you doing better than them or not? Correct? Now, this is ethical conduct. Moral conduct is giving all the four of you the good pills. Are you getting it? I know what is right and what is wrong. I'll always do what is right. That is the ethical way of it. Although these two will die if they don't get the medicines, it's not right for me to kill the 1,000 other people who might die if I do not do this. So that is ethics. Morals are not that. Morals is no one should die. Are you getting it? So righteousness is being moral. It's being moralistic. By that logic, can I eliminate any one of these options? Think about it. 3 I can eliminate. Got it? Why? 2 reasons. One, we are looking at the analogy as a part of the idea over there. Second one, we're not talking about what's exactly talked about in the paragraph also. What about 2 and 1? Now, when I'm saying moralistic character is an eternal attribute of a super society, now no one talked about super societies. We talked about societies which have morals, and morals are a super societal value. Okay, I mean, there are some societal values like being in a family, taking care of your friends and all that. Then there are super societal values. Morality is a super societal value, and that also he did not specifically talk about morality. He spoke about righteousness, which is a quality to know which is moral and not. Okay, and the discrimination between right and wrong. Are we getting the idea? Yes. So B also I can. Yeah, completely transforms. I mean, the whole reason is you don't need to go till here also. The moment he's saying you're creating or some attribute of a super society should exist, no? If I tell you characteristics of Shashwati are that she's calm, she's peaceful. Shashwati should exist, no? So super society के बारे में बात करना है तो super society should be there, right? It's not there. No one spoke about having a super society only. Got it? So these two are out of scope things. They're nothing. These are answers that you should not put at all. These are answers you should eliminate first. Next comes first option here. That is a little tricky to eliminate. Why? Stability of a human society is contingent on its seeking of super social features. Makes a lot of sense. Technically speaking, pyar aa gaya usko. But if you see the first line, over there he says the modifier part of it especially. If it is to be a solid and enduring one. Yes, that means what is the whole contention of that? If I have righteousness, then I have a stable society, no? Yes, but is that stability only on is it seeking super social features? No, we are seeking righteousness, which is a super social feature. And if I have righteousness, then I can understand that my society is what? Super social. Are you getting my point? If you have A, then I can say A is B. You don't have A, the society is nothing. So stability of a human society is not contingent. That means it does not is not dependent on super social features. Super social features will or righteousness will give super social features, which makes a good society, which makes a stable society. Okay, so cause and effect are reversed here. Good. Last one, a conscientious society. That means a society in which you distinguish between right and wrong. Is sustained by something not inherent in the society. That means it's sustained by some level of a feature which is outside the society. That is what is the super social feature. Bahar se, it's not the societal feature. It's a super social feature. It's above the societal features. Okay. So D option basically talks about a society which is marked on the characteristic of identifying what is right and what is wrong. Is sustained. That means it is stable. It is being there as an integral whole, as a unified part because of something that's not inside the society. It's something apart from the society. Got it? So your your D should be your right answer. Are we all getting it? Guys online?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, good. So next one is what? I think this is, yeah, it's a parajumble. How many of you have done this? You have not done this. Okay. What about you guys? How many of you have not done this particular parajumble?
I have not done this.
You have not done this? Okay, please start. Karlo. Take 2 minutes, finish it. I think today we'll be at least able to do all the, what do you say, VA section, the entire VA section. Let's are we done? Okay. Hi, क्या बोल रहे हैं? I have to put this on. Yes, good. If you've gotten it correct, good. So what's he saying here? He's saying that there are obviously 4 sentences are jumbled. First sentence talked about in order to highlight negative impacts of hegemonic masculinity has on its constructions of gender and sexuality, the film Boys Don't Cry will be discussed. Okay. Now, do you understand what hegemonic masculinity is? Yes. Okay. What is your understanding of it? Oh, you said no. Okay. We can say we can say somewhere around conservative masculinity. Okay, something that is very old fashioned or something that's very rigid in its approach. Okay, hegemony is another term that you'll be very frequently seeing in politics essays, especially any essay involving China or Russia or maybe any kingdom for that matter. You would see hegemony. Okay, Anji, you were saying something? Dabdaba. Right. So he's talking about how some kind of impact is there of one system, okay, on the constructs of gender and sexuality. What do these constructs mean or constructions mean? Tenets, rules. Okay. The films Boys Don't Cry will be discussed. So basically, can I say that hegemonic masculinity is or Boys Don't Cry is a film that represents hegemonic masculinity? The construction of gender, particularly when it comes to young males, has led to the amplification of negative characteristics associated with hegemonic masculinity. Okay. So what does he say? Here it is a little more subdivided. He's talking about young males. Okay. And what kind of negative characteristics are associated with hegemonic masculinity? Cool. The need for individuals to categorize themselves and others based on gender has guided the way individuals interact with another throughout history. So this is one statement so far, which has not spoken about hegemonic masculinity, but it has spoken overall about gender, right? So I can understand that the topic that's being discussed is a member of this class. Okay, and this is not the member. So I can understand that 3 is the most generic statement so far. Like 4 we have not seen, but yeah, 3 is the most generic statement so far. Okay. Yes, did you guys also understand this? I have to see that. Did you guys also understand this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, all right. No, even yesterday I was having the same thing. I was going here and trying to see, but okay. These negative characteristics have often been associated with an increase in the violence. Okay, again, now where do I see negative characteristics mostly? I'm seeing negative characteristics as the amplification over here. Yes, and then I'm seeing again negative characteristics. What are those? Or what kind of effect has it given into what? Okay, Charlie. Yeah, answers. 3, 2, 4, 1. 1, 4, no?
Sir, one can be the example.
Yeah, you're saying something? Sharath, I think it was your voice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Say-
you're saying something?
I kept one last because they are explaining about an example in the sentence.
Okay, all right. Okay, see 2 and 4 or 2 and 1, because we see that in 2 we are talking about the amplification of negative characteristics. Okay, in 1 we are talking about the impacts of those negative or the negative impacts of something. It's not talking about negative characteristics. Okay, all right. Yeah, and 4 is talking about negative characteristics. So 2 and 4 will go together. Yes, sorry, I looked at it, overlooked at it. Yes. So 2, 4. Now, okay, naturally we cannot put 1 before 3. And if you have already concomitant sentences as 2, 4, the only placement for one is here. By LR, you can go that way. But let's look at how does the, total paragraph as a whole make sense? Does it make a coherent passage or not? Please do that at the end of it. Okay. Sometimes you'll just put it on the basis of those 6 rules that I've given. It might not make a coherent passage. Okay. Especially in very simple science passages. It'll go haywire. Okay. Okay. So what does this tell you? This says, if we are looking at 3241, let's look at the whole passage once. The need for individuals to categorize themselves and others based on gender has guided the way individuals interact with one another. Okay, fine. Interaction ka bataya hai. Next, in 2, what he's saying, he's talking about how it comes to a particular group of those, people that we've just talked about. Individuals is the first set, and then how certain individuals, especially young males, okay, are leading to the negative characteristics of all of it because of some kind of a hegemonic masculinity, or it's not because of, it's associated with. So these characteristics are also looked at here, that kind of a relationship. Now, yeah, okay, so now in that sentence only, I kind of went off onto these characteristics. So these negative characteristics, now what are they increasing? Okay, maybe violence, aggression, which is used in homophobic hate crimes committed by men. Homophobic. Phobia is being afraid of. Homo, same. Okay, so same gender phobia. So maybe it's against, gay men or something. All right, so homophobic crimes committed by men. So now, can you tell me what's the meaning of this entire paragraph together? Let's test your understanding. Sharath, what's the meaning of this paragraph? Chakradhar? I'm not asking Aditya for sure. Sharath? Okay.
Yes.
What's the meaning of the paragraph here? What did you understand from this? Can we understand that initially we were looking at how one individual interacts with others, and for that interaction we have categorized into genders. Now slowly each gender developed its own role, okay, so much so that it's become a rigid standard procedure for this gender to behave in a certain way. Now if someone, especially in 4th one, we are seeing after 3 and 2, we are seeing in 4th one that if someone deviates from that role, then they are leading some negative repercussions or negative impacts. What are the negative impacts? So how we can see those negative impacts is given as an example in the 4th one. Clear? Coming again.
Sir.
Anji?
Sorry, in second question, while arranging, I knew that first 3 will come, then 2 will come. But for 4 and 1, I went through the second one, and as it had in the order of negative characteristics and then masculinity, so I arranged 4 then 1.
Yeah, that's what we've done. No, what
No,
I
sir.
have done is, see, obviously 3 is the most general statement. So we put 3 to be the starting. Okay. Now, this part is talking about the member of the class, which the rest of the 2 sentences are talking about. So this kind of introduces whom we are talking about.
Yes, sir. But
okay. Yeah, go on.
Yes, sir. My doubt was that I have done by keeping 3, 2 as the order, but after that, I went through the second sentence and saw that negative characteristics and then masculinity came. So
yeah. No, I understand. You've taken this and then you've taken this part. No.
Yes, sir. While is that okay?
See, for this question, it's okay, but I would rather suggest you try to make it a story.
Okay, sir.
Okay, because maybe see, for this question, it worked out well and good for us. What if for the next question, the story is, divided into 2 paragraphs, like the first parajumble that we saw. Then
yes.
It might get harder, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So always my suggestion is always make a story out of it. Try to understand broadly what is the genre, what is the theme. After you understand what is the genre, what's the theme, then you can go ahead with it. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. Yeah. Which one is this? Yeah, identify the odd one. Please, have you done this? You've done it? Correct option that? Huh? Radha? Cholera. Tira, only churu. You have done this? Yes, correct option that? No, check Koleda. You have not analyzed your marks so far ever. Marks started. That's not mock analysis. Okay. So think about it like this. If I don't know when are you guys taking mocks? Saturday, Sunday, when? Sunday? Sunday morning, half, afternoon, half? Kabhi bhi. Okay. Afternoon, usually. Okay. So if you're doing this on Sunday afternoon, you're taking the mock. You have to repeat that mock maybe on Monday in the morning session or sometime. When I say repeat the mock without time, you have to go through the same passage, answer the same questions. All right. So this time you have to see how faster were you. Did your understanding change? Because I'm pretty sure in the spirit of time when you're doing these passages, your understanding must be raw somewhere. Anna, if you're chawal jab jaldi se laga, you all understand Hindi. She does not understand Telugu. You guys understand Hindi? No, you do not understand Hindi. When you're cooking rice, okay, you can't cook it half and leave it. You have to give it the proper time for it to boil. Yes. In hurry, what will happen if you take off the rice of the cooker like a little early or before a few whistles? What happens? Some part of the rice is still uncooked. Yes, it stays raw. In the speed of time when you're doing passages and all, some part of the understanding is missing. In your mock analysis, what you should be doing is looking at the passage, identifying, okay, did I know this meaning? Did I actually think of this line this way? Would I have answered this question differently had I known this? That thing should come. If you're not doing that, you're just giving a mock. You're not gaining anything out of that. These mock discussions are with the assumption that you have analyzed your paper. See, if I think that none of you have gone back to your papers after giving the mock, would I not discuss each and every question with you? That would be the analysis, no then? But did you ever see me discuss all the 26 questions with you? Why? Because the first question I asked after you write a mock is, which ones did you take first? Which ones did you score higher? My understanding is, okay, maybe your understanding of those questions is good. Yes. So if we are not on the same plane, it's going to be hard. Instead of this, then what we have to do is we have to put an entire 3-hour slot for one mock discussion, where verbal is going for 3 hours. You'll get mad after that class. You won't want to do verbal again after that class. I'll guarantee. But see, the importance of mock and mock analysis, then mock discussion is the way we do it. At least from next mock, you'll write mock this Sunday. Yes. Sit down on Monday morning. बैठ के देखो यार एक बार कि यहाँ पे गलती क्यों हुआ. Don't think कि सूरज बोलेंगे मेरे को या फिर दीपक भैया बोलेंगे या फिर प्राड़ी बोलेंगे. इन लोग नहीं बोलेंगे तो मेरे को नहीं पता लगेगा क्या. मेरे में इतना तो बुद्धि है ना. Yes. Once go back, see where it went from. Then you can actually come up with good doubts when you come to this discussion. See, I'm not saying Chakradhar always asks good doubts. Sometimes his doubts are okay. But today the doubt that he asked, I can understand that he's gone back to the para summary. He's seen and he's not understood what happened. That's why he asked me that doubt. See, what question is he talking about, sir? His doubt was very specific. Yes. So in our analysis, that got clear. Come to a point wherein your doubts get specific. If at this point, if you're having broad doubts, that means if you're telling, I didn't understand the passage at all, I don't know what to make out of it. Because we've done 40, 50 passages already. Yes, we've done 15 mind maps already. Yes, so we need to come to that one level extra. कि हाँ मैं देख ली मेरा क्यों गलती है, I've seen why mine is a mistake. Now let Praddy tell, is this right or not? Okay, ठीक है, चलो यार. It is.
And that partition is just now and what is
Yeah.
Right after that I was confident for 2 or 3 questions. But the way we do the one that in the exam. So how to go to that?
This is why I remember I told you, you have to take one mock with RC first, one mock with VA first, and see which one are you more comfortable with. See, some people have this starting trouble. First RC takes way too long for them to understand. वहां से it goes faster for them. But for me, it's not like that. For me, my understanding starts when I read the sentence. I read the sentence, I ask क्या बोल रहा है, and I get it. So for me, what's easier is I do VA section first. If I finish the VA section first, एक headache निकल जाता है यार. Passage is like a story. The moment you understand story, you can answer the question. Okay. So this mock, try doing the VA section first. Go with the smaller questions. You don't have to read so much. You won't be as exhausted as before. Yeah. Then go to RCs, at least pick 3 RCs and do out of those 12 questions, 9 questions. Keep that as your target. Reverse is the next mock. Check which one are you able to cope up more with. Because guys, see, this is not only about my section, no. Although granted, we are in a verbal class, we have to talk about the verbal part of it. But your cat is not verbal alone. And if your mind is exhausted with verbal, LR will screw you. LR will screw you so bad. You have 6 sets, you'll have to crack at least 3. Right? So 10 minutes per set is what you should be aiming at. And then 4 minutes for like, checking and all. But if you're not having that cognitive resources, वहाँ पे आपका गंदा कटेगा. It'll be very bad for you. After that, you have quant. So by this time, if you are completely done, quant karoge kya? But that's the easier part, no? That's where you shine, right? See, 2 things that you should do is improve your reading speed. Faster you read, lesser exhausted you are. For this, your reading habit needs to improve. Forget about this mock. This one mock does not decide what happened with your prep. 8 mocks. Okay, take the aggregate. How have you gone up or down? Look at it. Okay, if you have gone down, see which part of your mock has gone down. Is it the RCs that have gone down? Is it the parajumbles that have gone down? Which part? If it's a parajumbles and all, then I should understand that my vocab is not very strong. I need to go back. I need to revise those 6 rules, 7 rules, because I am missing 1 or 2 of them. Get it? But if your RCs have gone down, that's a matter of concern, because that means your comprehension has gone down. Got it? So what do we do then? So the next, maybe we have a window of 7 days, no, for mock to mock. 5 days, improve your reading habit. Do 3 RCs every day. The next 2 days, improve your vocab. Take genre-specific words, which articles we have shared, no? There must be words that you've not ever heard of or seen before. Have you made a note of it, made a flashcard of it? See, that's the approach that we followed in the class. That whenever we are reading a passage and not understanding the word, we'll make a flashcard. Please trust the approach from the class. It is for you. I'm not telling out of zero experience. I'm not telling because I want to give you work. Okay? 2 साल में psychology पढ़ा. मेरा research educational psychology का था. Okay, mnemonics, flashcards, these are techniques that improve your memory a lot. 5 word का flashcard बनाओ यार आप. Read it. Make flashcard of 5 words. 5 new words that you did not ever see in those articles you'll find, no? Yes? Put them down. Next time you're solving a science fiction article, it won't be a problem. I was just telling Deepak, that people would be stumped in the first RC because of science fiction. We've done science. No one ever thinks science fiction aayega, na? Yes. So these are the small dynamic changes we'll have to make with our schedule. 5 days, the next 5 days, maybe do 3 RCs each. Yes, get the words that you don't know from there, write it down. Hey, I still write that here. The other day I was traveling to Vijayanagaram and another verbal faculty was there and she told me about this word called pit. Now, I've only heard of the word pit as a part of a stem, the internal part of a stem, the main part of a stem. But the way she used it in a sentence, it meant essence of something. So at 26 years, I learned a new word, no? Yes, the same word that I learned in my 7th standard science. Yeah. So please don't think that, yes, I'm 21 years old. I've done like 7 months of CAT coaching. I know good enough words. Obviously, you do know good enough words, but there are more words to them. Okay, let's not go with that. Give me your answer. Monday, 12:30. Okay, Pratiksha, I don't understand what is Monday, 12:30. What happened on Monday, 12:30?
Sir, you asked when we give mocks.
Oh, okay. You told for that, right?
Yes.
No, so you understood what the reason was, right? Whenever
sir,
you give
yes.
the mock, उसके थोड़े बाद आप मतलब लिख लो, उसका analysis कर लो. Right, कर लो यार, equation कर लो. Have you done this question? Finish हो गया ये वाला? नहीं. You've done this? Okay. So yeah, what is the answer? We've done this somewhere. Do it. Think about it. And when you're answering these kind of questions odd man out, please tell me the para jumble also of that. That means which are the 4 things, in which order is it happening? Okay, challenge yourself a little more. The way, if you get that part of it, no, there's no way you can go wrong in odd man out. Kada. If you look at the question stem also carefully, he says 4 of them can be put together, 1 not. So the first thing he's asking you is put them together and then see which one is not. Yes? Obviously, 5 is not going to be my first statement. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me, yeah.
Sir, I messaged you on WhatsApp regarding some doubts, sir.
Who's this?
I'm Chakradhar, sir.
Yeah, Chakradhar, I'll be able to get back to you on it tomorrow.
Okay,
I was very busy in the morning and now I'm like busy late. After that also, I'm kind of busy.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I'll be able to get back to you in the morning tomorrow.
Okay.
Chakradhar, did you get me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Yes, so if we look at it, what can I understand here? It's talking about change. Yes, and change specifically in something in your job or house scenario, right? Very specifically, if I'm to look, since I've identified that this is change, it's easy for me to cut this off. Because he's not talking about change, he's talking about how manpower, accounting purposes, and men are classified according to their different present jobs. Okay, this is talking about classification, whereas the rest all are talking about change only. Okay, clearly it's the odd one out. We get it. What's the order? Yeah, definitely 3 is your first thing. Okay, now 5 does not fit anywhere else. 2 and 1, yes. Why? Because even when the work is similar, the environment in which it takes place changes. When will we say that? Why? Because you have to learn new habits. Okay. Why are you learning new habits? Because even if the work is similar, you'll have to get used to the environment. Okay. So this becomes cause, effect. So these two are concomitant. So 2, 1 we could form. We already know that 3 is the starting statement. Now the only point is 5 comes here or here. Now, if I'm looking at 3, what does 3 say? Any change in job entails a certain amount of stress. 2 and 1 are also talking about job and stress. Okay, 5. And just as is the case with moving to a new community, the newcomer is under pressure to form new relationships at high speeds. We are very tempted to put it here, but the problem is he's comparing it with something. That comparison has only happened here. In the other things, comparison has not happened. Got it? So you have to put 5 here. So the order will be 3, 5, 2, 1. Okay. Okay. Parajumbles. This is a science parajumble. This is an easy one. This you must have done, right? If we have time, we have like 5 minutes. Whatever. Yeah. I think this is the last VA question or a test के बाद. We have, yeah. So one more is that. हो जाएगा. We'll finish these and then we'll finish these and then. Yeah, are we done? Yes. Biology-based passage. Answers? 2, 3. Okay. No. Okay. No. Okay, what is a broad theme that we are talking about here? Life on Earth. Okay. Or life on other places or life on X place. Okay. We're trying to understand life on X. Okay. Now, obviously, there are two contenders for general statements. First, we've identified the theme. According to that, there are two contenders for general statements. First contender is our 2, second contender. Yeah, but why are you second contender is 4. Okay. Why? Because both of these are posing as posed as a question. So one small difference between both of these is that here we are looking about resulting in various theories. Okay. And 3 is a theory. Are you getting how I am thinking about it? Yeah. So definitely for me, 2 becomes my general statement. Since these two are concomitant, that becomes my general statement, standalone statement, introducing about, a broad area, then narrowing the scope. So first we talked about the whole solar system, then we came to the Earth. In Earth, something else. So this is a sequential part. Remember, fifth rule is a sequence or a hierarchy. Yes, so this will be according to your hierarchy. Science passages usually either follow chronology or hierarchy. Okay, so please do not forget these rules when you're doing science paranumbers. It becomes very easy if you think of it this way. So naturally, I can go with 2, 4. Now the question is, and 4 and 3 are already concomitant. So you don't need to worry about it anymore. Ho jayega directly. Now, why is 1 at the end? Is it supposed to be at the end? If you look at this part, we have mineral rich, okay, and ready water supply. So from these 2 points, we can connect the microbial communities part. Okay, and since we are talking about hot volcanic springs, we can connect life under extreme conditions. So there also that concomitant sits. Are you getting where I'm going with this? The answer should be 2, 4, 3, 1. Last question. Chalo. Yeah. Janvi, did you get why my answer was 2, 4, 3, 1?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Please, I don't think you will take more time for this. Anji? Yeah, obviously, this is 3. But tell me the order. Correct? No, see, I know you know the answers. I'm not here to give you the answers. That's not the aim of a mock discussion. The aim of mock discussion is why is that answer that way? Yes. And I'm not going to be telling you ki I know all the answers also. There were questions where I went wrong in a mock. I told that you very honestly. I've told you I went wrong this way. Please don't go wrong that way. My aim is very simple here. Let us make as many mistakes as we can in the class. Learn from each of them, not make those mistakes in the exam. Cool? Sindhu, that's an extremely nice question that you asked. Now, I don't know any CAT faculty who would be able to give you the answer to that question. But if you really want to know, I would say focus more on art and literature, because that kind of gives you the jargon of other topics as well. Okay. But there's not one genre that you should be focusing on.
So like my question is about what kind of things like philosophy, psychology, culture, all that. For articles.
Art, literature, philosophy, itlanti koncham kashtam untayi. But again, it depends from one person to the other. So maybe if you tell me that these are the things that I'm facing a difficulty in, then I can tell you better which ones you should be focusing more on. Sindhu, are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Last question. Yeah. Please jaldi kar lo yaar.
What are the sources for art and literature, sir?
Aeon is a good source. For social sciences, Aeon is a nice source. Acha, 1 minute, let me discuss. 1 minute, let me discuss this question and then I'll go ahead with it. No, I always look at that side and tell. Right, yeah. So when we, sorry, 130. Okay, ठीक है, देखते हैं. Now, yes, naturally, very simplistically speaking, here he's saying drawing on these interviews. That means concluding from these interviews. Where is he taking these interviews? In one. Okay, so yes, this will be my first option. It's definitely connected to 5. Okay, now the question is 2, 4 or 4, 2. Okay, first it should be 4. Should be 1, 5, 4, and then 2. Okay, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Here he's talking about one of the main considerations. However, there are other aspects. So 1 to other is your link. ये एक चीज है, ये बाकी चीजें और इसके अलावा ये भी. So that is a furthermore part. Are you getting my point? You said this, furthermore, however. Yeah. What I'm saying is this, however, this, furthermore, these all two. Got it? All right, I think we've exceeded the time PC or class dash, right? All right, so I'll conclude with this part. I think we've done all the VA questions. That's a good part, right? Okay, guys, I'll see you later again then.
So Aeon is it'll take too
It's
much
too
time.
long. It's very long. You can read the first 4 paragraphs and leave it.
Okay.
You don't need to literally read the entire article. You can just read the first 4 paragraphs and then you can stop it there.
Sir, I'm actually following Aeon and Aeon Psych.
Okay.
Is that enough? Like just for article reading?
Yeah.
1
see,
hour.
Again, I won't be able to say, is that enough? It's a good source. It'll definitely help. But is it enough depends on how much are you able to improve after you have read that.
Yes,
Okay.
sir, it's actually improving my reading speed.
Good. Then yes, then that's enough.
So my question is, usually from psychology, philosophy, culture, and arts, literature, these are the main things, right?
Yes.
We should focus on.
Yes.
So yeah, that's my question, sir.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
science.
Those are the main things. Those are the main things that you should focus on.
Yes, sir.
Baki ke matlab randomly he might give you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
All right.
science too.
Yeah, science is the most important here. We have 4: philosophy,
Sir,
philosophy, science, literature, business. These are the 4 things that you should be looking at.
sir, the websites which they are sending on daily reads for science, can we just follow those for science?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can definitely follow those for science.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.